Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ukulele on the Ground podcast. My name is Aldrine Guerrero. Joining me are Mr. Aaron, the voice, Nakamura. Say what's up, Aaron.
What's up?
Live on camera today. Mr. Kahai, the legend Bergen. Say what's up, Kahai.
Good save. Hey. What's up?
Usually there's no break between the two introductions.
Yeah.
There. Welcome, everyone, and welcome to the what do you call this, Kai?
No, it's a normal
It's
podcast.
a normal Ukulele Underground podcast. Yeah. Welcome, everyone. What we do here is we answer any and all of your questions. We get a question. Kahai, basically reads it to me. I try to give my best 2 cents. Aaron and Kahai will give their 2 cents, and we try to give you the best 6-cent answer that we possibly can. I mean, we're pretty knowledgeable. I played ukulele for... I feel like a few decades now at this point. Yeah. I know a thing or two about ukulele, but we don't know everything. So actually, we're going to give you some O's for your Q's because these are opinions based on the years of experience that we have, but they're not necessarily, like written in stone correct or anything like that. You can still Google the answer. So with that said, gentlemen, what do you want to talk about?
You know what? I'm tired of talking about ukulele. Let's get that out of here.
Just put this down.
It's not like anything. Like it's just an ukulele podcast or anything.
No, we didn't win an award for that specific.
For talking about ukulele. Yeah, we definitely did.
No.
If that was the, if that's the barometer of like what it takes to win that award, I don't know how we won. But if it's just for talking, then I'm like, yeah, we talk.
We certainly do that.
We do that a lot.
Okay, yeah. So today, it's like the chat is pretty quiet. They don't have any questions. So
what's going on, people? You get shy? What's happening?
Just gotta come up with our own stuff to talk about. And I figured, I don't want to talk about ukulele today.
Yeah.
I want to talk about just other things that we are into, and can mention anything as long as it's not ukulele related.
So like top 3 things that we're into that like is not ukulele related?
I don't even have top 3, top 5, whatever. I have something in mind that I want to talk about, but I don't even have 3, so whatever. Let's just talk about stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm into a lot of like kind of nerdy stuff, like video games would probably be like number 1. Like I like a lot of just one player games. I don't like going online and interacting with people and stuff. Like I like just taking my time, just playing a nice like cruise game, like RPGs usually, I'm like an RPG guy. 2, I've been super into like the One Piece trading card game. I've always been into like card games or trading card games. I was into Yu-Gi-Oh when it first started. I was into I played a little bit of like Magic and Pokemon and stuff when back in the day, in late 90s, early 2000s and stuff. And number 3, I guess I'll give an obscure one because, most people would be like, oh yeah, cardistry and cards and stuff. But an obscure one would be baking. I am very into just cooking in general. I guess just culinary things, like baking and cooking. Like I'm very, very, very into that kind of stuff. A lot of my my saved videos on Instagram are all cooking. And like there's an SNL skit where where the guys are like scared of like the girls looking at their like For You page on Instagram. It's probably gonna be like all guy stuff and whatever, or like girls bikinis and stuff. But then like I'm on my phone like right next to my wife, and all she sees is all like bread and cakes and foods.
Your first love.
Exactly. So that's the 3 things that I feel like I'm super into nowadays. I'm into other stuff as well, like cardistry and tennis and other stuff, and DDR. But like those are 3 things that's taken up a lot of my life. I feel like video games to escape from the real world. And I like One Piece trading card. I play that just for fun, just very casually. I play competitive every now and then just for locals, but and then baking and cooking.
Yeah, so let's even go like if I guess if you Aldrine did that and is like, I can't relate to this at all, then sorry, you should just click off right now. But I was gonna say, let's even go into that then.
Yeah.
What is like the last video game that you played that was really fun or that you want to talk about?
A couple. So I talked about like one player kind of games. So one that I played a lot of was like Dave the Diver, which is a suggestion from Kahai. I tried it out. You know, it's one of those like you never really like any drug. You just don't do it. Like, you know what I mean? And I tried this drug called Dave the Diver, and I'm like, you know, what's the harm, right? And then. Full blown addict like after the first one, so not even one. So unless you guys want to get addicted to a video game, don't try it even once.
Because like even like with cardistry and other stuff, right, it's like I'll tell you about it and then the next week you come back and you're like, have you played the Dave the Diver DLC? And I'm like, nope, I haven't even gotten that far. It's like, so you take it and then you go even further than me.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
No, it's great.
Yeah, but you know, I like that, and I played Cassette Beasts. That was super fun. It's very Pokemon-esque, and then like they kind of take it a step further. I like how they made it more original. It was cool. It was really good. I did Cassette Beasts.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Getting into One Piece.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, I don't know how far we want to go into this, but how about where do you play the One Piece?
There's a local card game shop here on Kauai called Crow's Nest. The Crow's Nest, ran by our good friend Tyler Garcia, and super awesome community of One Piece and Pokemon and Magic and like D&D. Like it's really like a nerd's haven at the mall. So it's kind of central. So if you ever want to play any of those things, whenever you're on Kauai, they're super welcoming. Even if you're like visiting and stuff and you happen to have like a deck. I was just there last week. There was like a couple that came down, and because I guess like Bloomborough just came out for Magic. Did you know about that, Kahai? You play Magic, right?
I used to.
Yeah. So Bloomborough came out, and like this tourist couple like came down, and they're like, oh, you know, we're here for like a week, do you guys play? And then Tyler's like, oh yeah, this week, this day, and this day, and they're like just super welcoming. So if you guys ever are down here on Kauai, the Crow's Nest, like one of the best places to find a game, any kind of game. And they have a whole room with a bunch of different board games and just games in general that you can try out just for free and just play and stuff. It's pretty cool. So
yeah. And they put on One Piece like tournaments?
Yeah, so I play on the local One Piece competitive scene Wednesdays. So Aaron and I would play at Oasis from 3 to 5. If you guys didn't know, we'd play 3 to 5. The tournament doesn't start till 7. So I go home, I have dinner, kiss my kids goodnight, and the dad goes on to become King of the Pirates.
Okay, yeah, and I when Mike is here, he'll bring his deck and you guys play. Yeah. And then me and Aaron are doing other stuff. But I don't want to like maybe not get too deep into it. Yeah. But if anybody wants to play it against you, what is your go-to deck?
Red Purple Luffy, Black Yellow Luffy. I was playing Red Purple Law, but that got banned. So yeah, I'm like an Unga Bunga kind of guy, and Black Yellow very rarely. I also play Vegapunk. Yeah, that's super fun. But
yeah, I just imagine somebody tuning in and being like, "Oh yeah, I like ukulele. I'm gonna check this out."
Yeah,
Black Purple Luffy,
Black Yellow, sir. Black Yellow, Red Purple Luffy, and Black Yellow.
Oh,
Luffy.
Red Purple.
I'm like a main character guy. You know what I mean? I'm the guy who picks Ryu when it comes to Street Fighter.
I like that you said you used another nerdy analogy to compare it to. It's like somebody's like, they use something else. What is a Ryu? I gotta look up another reference to understand.
I feel like if you're into video games even a little bit, you would know who Ryu and what Street Fighter is, you know?
Yeah, if you're into One Piece, you should know that, right? Like you should have that in.
I'm a main character guy. I don't know. Like it's not necessarily meta. Maybe Black Yellow Luffy's meta, but not. Not about that. That's why I rarely play that one. I do have it though.
Yeah. Okay, so now I hope that somebody comes to the Crow's Nest and is like, I heard about you playing here on the podcast, and I built a deck just for you. Or
Oh,
something.
dude! If you guys, you don't even have to come to the Crow's Nest, but you should if you ever come here to Kauai. But if you're at home and you want to play some One Piece, there's the One Piece trading card sim. Hit me up anytime. I'll play. Just super fun.
Hit you up on like Instagram, and then
Yeah, hit me up on Instagram. Let's set up a like a One Piece date.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I'll play.
Okay, and then the last thing, I guess you said you're into baking.
Yeah.
What is what's a bread that you made that is like good, and then what is like a bread that you want to try to make? Is there something that you want to try to make?
I've been making just like easy kind of breads. Like I've made a milk bread that came out pretty good. I recently bought a scale, and it's like that's how I'm gonna get kind of. I'm gonna nerd out on it a little bit. I bought a scale, and before I've been just kind of like, okay, if the recipe calls for 2 cups, then it's 2 cups, or like half a cup or whatever, then it's half a cup on the measuring. But then like when I actually use the scale, it's like way less. So my breads are actually like bouncy and fluffy. And back in the day, were like pretty dense, like a few weeks ago. And now that I'm actually like weighing stuff and measuring stuff that way, it's like, this is like night and day. It's like night and day on breads.
I would imagine like the humidity makes a difference. That's why, right?
And it
Living in
rises
Hawaii.
pretty easy. Yeah.
You mean you can't do like the rice trick? Is like if the flour goes up to your first knuckle, that's enough flour.
Yeah. So I make milk breads pretty good. The best thing I've made so far, I made a curry pandesal.
Ooh.
Yo, it is so good. It's
Wait.
pandesal. Oh, okay.
No. Oh, curry inside it? What? Oh,
So curry pan.
Okay,
curry pan. You ever said curry pan?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a curry pan de sal. It's my my play on curry pan. So it's basically pan de sal bread, and then I take those like those ready-made curries like in the packets and stuff. They're about like $1, $2 at Walmart, and they're like from Japan and stuff. So I would add a little bit of ground beef. I would cut some ground beef and put it in there just so it's a little bit meaty. And then I'd stuff it inside the pan de sal. I would cook the pan de sal first, bake it, and then roll it in the I'll do the whole thing, roll in the breadcrumbs and stuff. I'd bake it and then deep fry it because that's like curry pan is deep fried, right? So I deep fry it, I would spray it with some oil and then deep fry it, and it's just like, oof. Yo, it's so good. It's curry pan de sal. It's like curry pan, but it's pan de sal bread.
Nice.
You even know. See, I told you guys. That's kind of what I'm super into right now. Like I'm trying to take a lot of like my Filipino roots and add it to like to breads that I've been making, and that's my latest concoction, curry pan de sal.
So are you gonna try and push that even more? Like do more stuff you put inside of the pan de sal?
Yeah, I mean, I've done like the basic ones, like I've done ube and cheese. I've done like cream cheese in the pan de sal. I've done curry and stuff. I want to try to do like banana ketchup, like spaghetti sauce in the pan de sal. Like that seems like a Filipino thing to do, right?
Have you ever thought about doing like a turducken situation where you take a Krispy Kreme and you shove it inside of the I'm gonna put another dessert inside of this dessert and then put that inside another dessert.
Yeah, it's the Wendell's Lao Lao.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so stuff like that. With the milk bread, I've taken like the milk bread dough and made like little Hawaiian sweet rolls with it. So it's like sweet rolls, but it's like that fluffy milk bread. It's so good. Like that's some of the stuff where like I've had like King's Hawaiian bread.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like so I'd put it like in a square pan. And then just let it rise in that square pan, and bake it like in little rolls. So it's just regular milk bread, but just like shaped like little Hawaiian rolls. So good.
Sounds good.
And I add some like milk powder, so it's kind of like milky rather than just like the fresh milk and stuff. So it's.
Whew.
Yeah.
My
super into it.
My blood sugar is going up just from this conversation.
Dude, I'll make some curry pan de sal one of these days.
Okay.
Curry pan.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. Aaron, you wanna talk about
Yeah, top
something?
3 things.
No, I mean like
One thing.
I feel like my entire life is like ukulele at this point, right?
That's why I had to do other things, just because like it's consuming my life. So I had to
Pretty
do
much-
something else in
pretty
order for
much-
me to keep enjoying it. You know.
My entire life is ukulele because like we do the ukulele underground stuff, and then Aldrine and I started the AG Ukulele Academy on Kauai, so like serving Kauai. So
Yeah.
so I just been thinking a lot about that
You know,
business stuff, and
okay.
I'm actually into a bunch of things, but I don't know if I want to disclose any of them.
Okay. But
I don't want to. Yeah.
yeah, I have something that I want to ask you then for like a suggestion or something. Last week, the last podcast, I guess, we talked about the Olympic or the big games, and we talked about for breakdancing the DJ that was playing music, and you're like kind of saying like, why are they playing that kind of music? So what is like hip hop, or what is an album that you would have wanted to hear at the big games?
Kind of beats, or
Yeah, I don't know. I was just looking for something not 1992, as far as like, right, because like it's basically like breakdancing's chance, right, to show the world like what it is currently, not what it was in like when the movie Breaking came out, like
like it would have been cool if they sprinkled it in here and there, right? Yeah. But it did feel like it's like from a viewpoint of like, oh, that's what's cool now, right? Is this breakdancing in this time, and like
it was just almost like a caricature of what it right, like they heard about it, and so they created like, here's this event that's gonna encapsulate what it means, and it's like
it was missing 2 things: a big boombox and cardboard.
Yeah, like I felt like the Fresh Prince was gonna come out at any time. Yeah, with DJ Jazzy Jeff was in the back.
So is there any well, we can take it outside of, I guess, hip hop or just that kind of thing. Is there any albums that like you feel is like pretty cool or on your list right now? And it doesn't have to be modern. I guess it's just, what are you listening to that's not ukulele related?
Actually, yeah, I haven't been really listening to hip hop, but I've been into like Lake Street Dive has been my jam, like
nice.
lately. As far as artists, if anybody wants to look them up, they're touring, I think, currently. So if you live on the mainland or anywhere where they're touring, like definitely worth going to see.
We were kind of talking about how it feels like almost like, I guess, a renaissance of that style of music too is kind of coming back, right? And where it's like, I guess it's people from our generation who maybe like grew up with that kind of music, and they're making their own music now, so they're bringing that back too. Yeah,
because like Kahai and I were talking about what like I watched. Who is that YouTuber? He did like a mini doc on like the Soulquarians.
Digging the Greats.
The Greats. Yeah, that's a great YouTube channel. And so yeah, I guess like in the 90s it was like they were looking back at the 1960s and borrowing elements of like soul and funk. So it was like Lauryn Hill and Erykah Badu and oh no, I don't know if it was it Lauryn Hill was part of that. Erykah Badu definitely, Common and like the Roots and stuff, right? So so they were like creating like this mishmash of like modern R&B with funk and soul inspiration, and I feel like kernels of that are coming back into music today. So like I've been listening to there's an artist called Jalen Ngonda, I think is how you he's like
sounds Filipino.
No, he's I don't know what.
Nganda.
He's like he's like a black dude, but he's like kind of like a skinny black dude that you wouldn't think would sound like that, but so amazing. Yeah, if you listen to his stuff, it currently the stuff that he's putting out sounds like it should be on vinyl. If you just listen to it, not knowing about him or who he was or when this piece of music came out, you would think that it's like, oh, it's like a 60s, like, almost Motown era song that I just never heard. And so he's been killing it. I mean, he's been doing it for a long time, but I feel like his sound has sort of evolved into that. Currently, that's like what he's about right now, and I'm digging all of it. Oh.
It reminds me of like Bobby Caldwell, where like he doesn't look like what he sounds like. And it has that kind of like 70s vibe to it. R&B.
So it's stuff like that, and it's popping up all over the place, right? What was it? I shared with you somebody else that just sounded like it just, I don't know, so good. Or you shared with me, and then I was digging some of that stuff.
I think her name is Nikki. And she's a part of that record label like 88 Rising. Right? But she had a song called Summertime. Summertime.
Oh no, it was that cartoons.
Oh, cartoons.
Yeah.
And he's
CARR.
Yeah, because his name is Carr. His last name is Carr.
Carr. Yeah.
But he's a bass player, and then so all his songs are him playing the bass, but then it's like other.
He's featuring other singers, and some of the stuff that he's been putting out. It's very like groove, groove driven because he's a bass player.
Yeah.
So good. So I mean. Yeah, I guess.
Because even that one that I sent you, that like I figured out that I think it might be called that because they're referencing the Summertime song to like from the 60s and 70s.
Oh yeah.
So it feels like there's definitely like
Gershwin.
some of that
Summertime?
is coming back. What was that? Sorry.
Gershwin, Summertime?
No. Gosh, who? Mungo Jerry, my dad, like when I said, is this it?
The summertime and the weather is...
Shaggy.
You mean Shaggy?
Shaggy. I got it.
And the song is called Every Summertime. But then also like thinking about that, right? Like was it Will Smith did Summertime?
Yeah.
And it's the same exact idea where it's like, taking another song from previous generations and bringing it to like what we want to sound like now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
that's funny. Oh yeah. Like I don't think we've ever talked about this on the podcast, but like every time that we go on tour, no fail, there is
a Shaggy song.
A Shaggy reference
come up on the radio or something.
So we're I guess currently in Korea. So we'll see if that
if there's a store that plays Shaggy, it's
gonna be mind blowing.
Every tour, no fail. It was I think we shared that with Kaniho because we were on.
He no one would believe this, right? But he was on tour with us because we hardly go on tour with anybody the entire tour anyway. But
is there take it back to you, Aldrine? Is there non-ukulele artists or non-ukulele music that you've been into that you think is cool? People should check out.
JD Beck and Domi, like that's kind of something that I've been into. I talked about Eli Buendia. He has a solo stuff like aside from Eraserheads. That's that I learned that's why they've been so active as Eraserheads, because Eli's got like some solo stuff that's been going on, and he opens up like with a lot of his solo stuff before they get into the Eraserhead stuff, or some, at least what I've heard. I didn't go to the concert, so I wouldn't know. But
still sad.
There's you need some pepper with that salt.
Yeah, because like I don't know, like I've been really digging his solo stuff because it's Filipino poetry at his best, and I think I've said that before. But he'll, I'm in a weird point in my life that it's almost, and not almost, it is like at my midlife, like that time of my midlife crisis almost, and it's not a crisis, but he writes about being and he's maybe like 10 years older than me, so he's writing about things that I'm kind of experiencing now, and just kind of questioning stuff about life and just things in general, and like in his words really just speak to me in that sense, and in a very poetic way, so he has a song that's in collaboration with a band, and the band's called Pinkman, like Pinkman, but Pink Men. and it's called Habulan, and it's about Habulan is like chase, that game that we used to play as little kids and stuff, and it kind of uses that the play on words, or like the double entendre of that chase the game, and chase as in like chasing your what you wanted in life, or chase what kind of life you wanted, and chase what kind of like dreams and stuff. And it's beautiful song where like we may grow older, we may even though our knees are going, the chase has to go on, like kind of thing. It's freaking beautiful, man. Love that stuff. And so his music's really been speaking to me. I'm an old man who don't really listen to a lot of new stuff anymore, so like discovering new things from an older like artist that I've been into is really has been what's been taking up a lot of my musical stuff, my musical playlists as of recent. And then don't mean JD back, good stuff, just good rhythms, good good music, really like polyrhythms, a lot of that stuff. And Domi's like keyboard skills are just out of this world, and it's kind of cool because like I talk to like musicians like Abe. I'll talk to Abe, and he's just like, I don't know how JD Beck does like the things that he does. So I was, I listen to it a lot, and then I'll watch something like there's a Zildjian like live thing that JD Beck did, and it's just even more intense because like he's in a room surrounded by amazing drummers, and all of them are just like, whoa, what the heck is this kid doing? he's a kid, he's like under 20 or something, and like insane like that. That's just the kind of level of like musicianship that JD Beck has. Just
Very cool. Okay.
Yeah. Kahai.
What about you, man? People want to know about you.
Yeah, I actually did want to bring out, like Aaron talked about, the Digging the Crates. That's the channel name. And it's like the reason why I sent the video to Aaron is because he did a project or experiment where he switched out his iPhone for an iPod for 30 days. And he kind of just like went deeper and deeper into the weeds, where it's like eventually he's carrying around a typewriter to write his stuff. And, he has like an old like camcorder and like all kinds of stuff. But I think that also like kind of just helped put in perspective, like, I don't use Spotify, but I use like another streaming service to stream music. And it's like, a lot of times I just let it like autoplay and I just go to the next song. And if like a song catches my attention, then I'll be like, oh, cool, add to favorites. Maybe I'll listen to it again. But it's like not like where I'm like, oh, I'm going to stop and listen to this whole record all the way through. Like how if I used to buy CDs, that's what I would do, right? Because it's like, I don't know what song off of the CD I'm gonna like, so I'm gonna like listen to the whole way through. So I just been trying to do that more. And like something that came up that's not new, but it's like kind of whenever I find myself listening to them, I'll like listen to the whole album all the way through, is Nujabes. And I've been listening to his stuff again too.
Nice.
And it's just like his albums it's kind of like we were talking with that guy Cartoons too. He's like a producer, a hip hop producer, and so he'll usually feature other vocalists or other people on top of it. But you can just kind of listen through the whole album all the way through and just like enjoy the whole thing. So if you guys haven't heard Nujabes, definitely check him out.
And like lo-fi is like big, like the past maybe 5-6 years, like it's like made a comeback.
I kind of feel like there's that lo-fi girl, and it's like, people are like, okay, it's like lo-fi to do your homework with. But it went into the kind of like got super popular, became like a meme with how popular it is, dipped back down, and now it's like kind of coming back up where like people are like, oh, maybe this thing is kind of cool again. Right?
I mean, Nujabes, that's like OG like lo-fi, like chill hop kind of thing back in like early 2000s.
Yeah, and even what Aaron was talking about with the Soulquarians, right? Jay Dilla was a part of the Soulquarians, and it's definitely like that style of where they're taking beats or sampling beats and then using it to recreate it, but they're not doing it exactly to the grid or exactly on time. So there can be like little skips or little things that kind of feel like, oh,
it's part of the flow.
And then like people now, it's become so popular that people are recreating it digitally, but back then it had like more of an analog feel where it's just like, this is the best we could do. Like
some warmth to the sounds.
Yeah, it's just, or it's like we couldn't exactly like match it up or get this one for one, so we just like, we're doing this and we're playing it live, and it's like
it's more raw.
Yeah, there's something about the crackle and the pop on some of the when you sample like a vinyl and put it into beats and stuff. Something about it, man.
Yeah, but Jay Dilla was doing the rhythm himself and not sticking to basically not sticking to the grid, so it felt almost drunken, but it became a style.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Digging the Great has like a video on that too, where it's actually like, most people say it, like the joke is dang it, I didn't. It's like didn't want to bring up ukuleles, right? But I thought of the ukulele story. It's a story where, or I guess guitar, where it's like the Portuguese brought the guitars over, they left, but they didn't say how to tune it, so they had to make open tunings. And for Jay Dilla, they said like he got the MPC, the Kahai MPC drum machine, but he didn't read the manual, so he didn't know how to like quantize or do anything. So he's just like, I'm just playing it. I'm not like trying to play drunken. I'm just playing it, and it just happens to do that. But Digging the Greats has a video where he explains how it's like actually more thoughtful than that, and he actually does quantize certain things, but it's like very specifically what he wants to do. And the other parts he's like intentionally making it, so it's like, I think
or he quantizes different elements of the drum kit separately, so that it's not quantized to each other, they're quantized to themselves separately. and
it's almost, he does that, so it's almost like you can feel the rhythm in two different ways. You can listen to the song and bob your head and like, I'm getting like a 4 feel, or I'm getting like a 5 or a 3 feel.
And it feels more natural that way, instead of it being
or just
like,
more human, right? At least.
And so that's what like Questlove says, right? Like he said the first time he heard it, he's like, this sounds like a drunken baby playing drums. He's like, what is going on?
And then he learned to play it live, right?
Yeah.
That's part of Questlove's style. It's like he learned to play in that style live.
Because up to that point, he said he was like a very in the pocket drummer, right? And making sure that he's always in it. And then it's like when he learned to do that, the rest of his bandmates were kind of like, what are you doing, man? Like, we can't, what's going on? But he's like, then it just became a style, and it's just like, oh yeah, this is awesome. This has a certain feel to it. So yeah. If you check out Nujabes, I think is my Nujabes, Jay Dilla, both great producers.
You just brought up some memories, man.
Anything else that you're into?
The other thing, when you talked about a scale, I thought about coffee, and you have to measure out coffee. I have to measure out beans, and I shoot the beans with water to make sure that they grind in the perfect way. I'm so like twirling my mustache when I'm making coffee. But if you're ever on Kauai, my favorite place to get coffee and coffee beans is a place called Collab, and so if you go there, it's great coffee.
It used to be that coffee, bean, and tea leaf, right? That's the place?
In Kapaa.
In Kapaa.
Yeah, so they're in Kapaa, in the shopping center next to McDonald's and Waipoli Diner, which is also...
Yeah, go get some food at Waipoli Diner and then go get some coffee at... Because Waipoli Diner, that's like as local as it gets. I feel like, we got Waipoli Diner, we got like Onopono Market, and so like those kind of places in Kapaa where it's like, oh yeah.
And they're like run by like the same families that have been running them, so it's like very sticking to its roots, and it pretty much tastes the same as it has for the last, I don't know.
When Heather's family used to come down, we used to bring them to Country Kitchen, because that was like that was a thing. And then like there was one year we went to Country Kitchen and we couldn't we couldn't tell the difference between that and like a mainland, like like diner style kind of stuff. We're just like, it kind of changed. So we started going back to Tip Top instead, because Tip Top is just so busy. You know? Like, I like Tip Top, but it's just so busy.
Yeah, and Tip Top is another like family or is like pretty true to yeah. But if that's what you like, then go there. But and even Country Kitchen, it's good. But I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah,
where
it stopped being kind of I miss the local feel and like the local flavors, and I don't know what it is about that. It just I say it got a little touristy.
well, I feel like that's their main clientele, right?
Yeah.
So they're catering to who pays
did
them.
the owners change or something?
I'm not too sure.
Because the whole place changed, like aesthetics and everything.
Yeah. But it's still good. It's just not local. If you're in the mood for like real like local.
Yeah, they had like great local pancakes over there and stuff, and
they still have pancakes, right?
Yeah,
so
they're still good. They're just, I don't know. There's something about them.
And I think it is like the type of pancakes. If you're visiting Kauai, it's like you won't be unhappy with it because it's like mac pancakes, coconut pancakes, strawberry pancakes, banana pancakes. So
it's like, Kahai, I make a mean pancake. I gotta make you some pancakes one day. Like make the buttermilk and everything. Dude, okay. Told you, cooking, baking, things like that.
Is it a plain pancake?
Yeah. Plain pancake, like, but
I'm into it.
Put the milk and then put a little vinegar in there, and make sure that it like kind of curls up a little bit, like all that kind of stuff, and add the egg.
So you're gonna bring me a pancake and a curry pound de sel, and then it's like,
that's your sugar intake for the day,
for the week.
I might have to we might have to do the podcast or the jam first, and then I'll take that, because then it's like, okay, I'm done. I'm not gonna
do anything else
for the rest of the day.
Yeah, dude. If we ever do like a fundraiser for Ukulele on the Ground for the AG Academy, we got to do like a pancake breakfast.
Oh, interesting.
Just make a bunch of pancakes and curry pan.
It's like I like, it's the same exact feeling as this podcast. Is like nothing to do with ukulele. I'll just
listen to us talk and have a cup of coffee. It's just
and pancakes and curry pan.
All good.
Yep.
Anything else, gentlemen?
No, I guess that's it. Yeah, for this podcast.
Yeah, sorry, for the lack of ukulele content, but hey, we I guess we're at the end now. We can just kind of pull back the curtain a little bit. We're currently in Korea. We're traveling, Aaron and I. So wish us luck in the shows, because this airs Monday. We're probably on a plane, trying to get to our destination. But we have some fun stuff that's going on. I believe maybe Kahai can put like the details below if you happen to live in South Korea, or I believe there's a streaming link that you can watch stuff. Right? Is there a streaming link?
Possibly
a streaming link.
We would have to set that up. But
okay. So we have that. We're gonna be in South Korea. The details are below. I don't even want to attempt going, we're gonna be at this place at this time. Like, no,
I think they can check out your site, right?
Aldrine.com. Yeah. Go to aldrine.com for info on our South Korean tour. It's only gonna be a week. We'll be back, but then I guess no podcast next week. You know, so
but the streaming stuff, like well, we're not quite sure what it's gonna look like, but we're thinking that the time might be on Saturday. It's gonna be at night for us, so we'll put out a streaming link on the channel and just look out for it. Like we should have a jam this Friday too. Also, fingers crossed. So if you come back for the jam, you should see a streaming link or something else.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if we're gonna do it live yet as well,
or if it's just gonna be recorded.
Yeah, because thinking about that now, like if it's 8:00 Hawaii time, it's not very convenient for anybody else that usually watches this show. So
if it's 8:00 Hawaii time, it'd be like 11:00 like California time, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, but then East Coast and then Europe, So like, it might be for Australia, it might be convenient, but
and also, like, I guess all the people who maybe are in Korea but can't come to see you guys too. Check out that link.
But possibly we'll have a broadcast of it. So
we're not really sure of the technicalities of it. That's why we're kind of like not putting out like definitive things, but we should have something at least.
Something. We will have a jam this Friday, so look out for that. But next week we'll definitely have a jam. But it's just one pod that we'll be missing out on. I don't know, but maybe me and Aaron will sit down in the room and just like put put my phone down, like just record some thoughts, send it over to Kahai. I don't know, maybe if I'm not sleeping.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Check out ukuleleunderground.com if you want to learn how to play the ukulele. Make sure you check out UU Plus to take your ukulele playing to the next level. That's our premium service, so make sure you check that out. Also, grab some merch and other stuff over at shop.ukuleleunderground.com. All that info over at ukuleleunderground.com. We'll see you then. Have a great week. Take care. Aloha.